Does the woodpecker have a comment? How much wood could a woodpecker peck if a woodpecker could peck wood? That's, please, help. The woodpecker does not have a comment, and I don't know enough on this subject matter to honestly, or the situation to comment. So I think that it was a great question, though. Love it. Good people. We need more good people, funny people, authentic people. I love it in this world. Possibly. Sure. Yeah. What am I up to? So yeah, I am currently in a situation where I'm looking at potentially buying a camper vehicle, trailer or something, and living in that down in Texas to bring coverage of the Starship evolution, the SpaceX Starship prototyping evolution, or renting down there, or potentially building a tiny house, which, yeah, so that's a big thing for me right now. But I am documenting my daily life things right now. I'm live on YouTube trying to figure out the woodpecker. So I am doing a lot of different things, and you can find me on YouTube, youtube.com/Jessica Kirsh. That's my main place. I'm on Twitter, I'm everywhere. But I encourage you to go follow me or go subscribe to the channel. And Bodhi, I wanted to thank you so much for having me on and bringing me into this process. And what an honor it is to be able to answer these questions for such a prestigious podcast that you were invited onto. Thank you. Yep. Thanks, Bodhi, for having me. I will see you on the next Kirsh rant. Oh, I temporarily forgot about it as I was speaking. I'm so sorry, but that is definitely annoying, right? No? It doesn't matter. Okay, all right. Yeah. Right. Alrighty. Nah. Yes, doing the stream this afternoon. But thanks so much. I don't want to keep any more or take any more of your time. All right, that sounds good. Thanks, Bodhi. Bye. How does it end? How does it end? I forget. Do I? Oh. Okay. All right. See you later. What's up, YouTube? You just witnessed behind the scenes recording of the Kilowatt podcast with Bodhi from 918 Digital. You also are witnessing a live NRT of a woodpecker pecking on the side of my bedroom. And it's driving me insane. Yes, I'm sleep deprived, and that's not helping, but does anybody have a solution? Will you be taking any questions from the woodpecker Niles? Oh my gosh, you can hear it, right? I don't even have a mic on this phone. It starts at like in midnight. It starts like in the eve, like it'll be like 12 midnight, and that's when he'll start tapping. But sometimes he'll get right on my window underneath where Stella sits. So she has like a little kitty kingdom perch. She looks out, and he'll be like right above. Tapping, and it literally sounds like somebody is taking a hammer and a nail, and you guys can. How much wood could a woodpecker peck if a woodpecker could peck wood and is pecking a lot of wood? Oh my gosh, very clearly. This is not the first time. Just let Stella at it, right? This is first time that I've had a woodpecker that I know of consecutively in my life. And I was recording a podcast, so I'm going mad, like insane, not mad, angry from it. And I just had to share it with you all. Breathe and do a little DIY discovery. I have an idea of how I think I can sway him away that I've seen on commercial buildings for birds not to land on the buildings. So I'm gonna get some tin foil. I have some aluminum tin foil. Aluminium. $5 super chat. Wow, thank you so much. Nicotine Jenkins. Oh, whoa, hello. There's my face zoomed in. Sorry, everybody. How are my pores? Let's see. Buy some chicken and eat it where the pecker can see, just so it knows. I don't recognize your name, Nicotine Jenkins. Are you new to the stream? Or you're new to the chat? Welcome, and thank you so much for the super chat. I snap for super chats, donations. Thank you. You think that would work? Do you think if I put any kind of... What do you deter a woodpecker with? Besides a flashing... So I've seen on McDonald's specifically, I don't know if other places do it, but I commonly see it on a McDonald's drive-through restaurant building. They have these things that spin in the wind. They're stationary. They're like little... You'd think that they were like a pinwheel, okay? You know, you hold a pinwheel and it turns. I know you guys you can visualize it as I'm talking about it, right? Yes, no? And it spins around from the wind and is reflective. So I think that, and you'll see them along the sides of buildings all over town. But at McDonald's specifically is where I always see them. And I always thought that they were really tacky when I first saw them but they make the most, I understand why they do it. Tack doesn't matter at this point. Help. Woodpecker situation. Taking suggestions. He's making a pretty good dent in the side of the house, too. I'll show you here in a second. A CD on a string could work, too. Oh, really? A compact disc? Oh my God, Market Scraper. That's such a great idea. And I actually have blank CDs or DVDs, R's, in the garage. Great suggestion. I'm going to go get them. I'll be right back, everybody. Enjoy the pecking. By the way, this is my newest shirt. Oh my gosh. You know what? Come with me. Come on. Come with me to the garage. Welcome to my mess and madness. Grab a microphone. He stopped temporarily. Oh, it's probably because I slammed that door, huh? Microphone, microphone.
Hi, Daddy. You look so sweet and cozy.
There's Stella just sleeping right through it.
Hi.
She's so sweet. I love you.
I love you. Oh, kitty. I love you.
She's like, this thing has been keeping me up. There it is. Okay, and we're back. Testing. Gonna love all those down angles. How's everybody doing? TGIF. chit chat over here. I like the CD on a string idea because I have both of those things right now. I haven't gotten to the other suggestions, so let's see. I guess I could make a song out of it. Party on a woodpecker on the side of the house. He's got a beak on his face, wood in his mouth, pecking that wood all over the place, singing, peck my brains out, woodpecker, boom, boom, peck my brains out, woodpecker, copyright claim for sure. That woodpecker is driving me insane. I'm gonna go crazy. I'm already a little crazy, so this will make me really crazy. Singing, we will find a solution together. Singing, we will fix it. Oh. Party on a dun dun dun. Oh yes, I was like, come on, everybody, help. She sure is cute though. You guys don't ever really get this perspective, do you? Stella cam. Oh. I hope that you guys will join later today if on my friend Zachary 3D Prints live stream. I don't know if I'll be able to even go on it with a woodpecker in the audio, so that's something to address. You guys help me solve this, please. Oh my gosh. We will fix it. Singing, we will fix it. Gotta fix it, guys and gals. I'm just gonna put my headphones away because they are my most expensive possession-ish. I'm still here. Okay, so a CD on a string, something reflective, aluminum foil, which I don't know if it'll blow in the wind, and I don't think there's much wind here right now. So I guess that idea was kind of silly, huh, Jessica? We will fix it. Right, Stella? All right. He stopped. Okay, let me just show the situation first. No, while it's quiet, I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm gonna go get that CD. So here we go. Welcome, welcome. This is my stuff. I've shown it before. Right here. Tax files, memorabilia, holiday festive attire, ears, more memorabilia, tons of electronics, you know, cables and whatnot. All right, these are my tools. So I'm looking for where I have to visualize in my head where my compact discs, I had a visor, sun visor. Okay, so the sun visor in your car, right? For those of you who are younger than me, I'm 33, 1987, you may not know what a compact disc is. So if you, Google Google it. But I had a CD visor with my mixtapes that I would make. Mixtapes, my mix CDs. And I have that here. And that's where the extra CDs are going to be. I think it's in here. Oh, I see it right there. Oh my gosh, look, poking out. Look, right there. Oh my gosh, Jessica. Oops. Okay, I'm just gonna have a self pat on the back moment here for a second as I sit on the garage floor. This is why I am transitioning all of the things that I store, okay? Store as in like, these are photo albums, right? My Australia. Tax files can stay in non-clear containers, but I'm transitioning all of my storage to clear bins. And so I can see what's in them because out of sight, out of mind, right? Okay, I'm so relieved. Now you just moved this stuff. Anybody like me and have a whole backlog, or not backlog, have a pen thing for pens? Writing utensils. Some of these like don't even work. I collected them over the last 15 years probably. Highlighters, I really like highlighters. I like the really juicy highlighters. Does anybody like the juicy highlighters? Or like a felt tip pen. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Anybody have that? Carpenter pencils for you. All right, 3D Printing Llama. Tom in Space still has a CD visor. I love it. CD changer. Yeah, like I never had a 6-disc system, but I remember luxury cars had a 6-disc system. And like, for example, I think my mom had one under her passenger seat. That's where the changer was. Oops. So you had to take out this cartridge from underneath the passenger seat and load it up with your discs. I don't think my visor is in here, or else I would love to show you what kind of, oh my God, there it is. I love clear plastic storage bins. Shout out to Sterilite containers. If I could buy stock in you, I would. Maybe. Also these IKEA bins. Samla, S-A-M-L-A, and I can give you the item number and stuff. They are really inexpensive, but they don't latch, so I gaff tape them per use. I should do a whole thing on how I store, how I organize things. Singing, we will fix this. Yeah, there, it's still there. Boink. Oh, I think it's my CD visor. Oh, reached my maximum on cord length. Oh my gosh, wow, this is nuts. Anybody ever use Disk Warrior? Did you ever have a hard drive crash? This is from, I was living in Kentucky, Louisville, Kentucky at the time. And my 1 terabyte Seagate hard drive, I'll never forget it because it had, I can't talk about it, it's a sensitive subject. It had photos that I may never get back on it, crashed. And I actually had the CD sent to me. How funny is that? Disk Warrior. Spoiler alert, it didn't work, but that's okay. Burp, 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 burp. Ah, in individual wrap sleeves, because I'm OCD like that. All right. So, I wonder what the capacity of one of these is. This is a Memorex DVD-R, 4.7 gigabytes. 10x, it says. 100, my vision is not bad. It's just hard to read. Well, I guess, is my vision getting bad? I guess it is. 120 minutes of high definition footage. And I remember I used to be able to tell if it had been burned or not, the disc, because you could see it. Am I getting nostalgic with anybody else on the stream? Anybody remember all this stuff? It's even old to you. Let's see. Better answer, get rid of crap, no need for storage bins. Nice. I can't wait to read all these comments later. Yeah, DVD RW, Big Mama in-house remembers. That was the rewrite. So you could write a disc or you could burn a disc and then you could burn over it. Yes, this is a one-time use thing. And actually, in this other bin down there, I used to back up my files on these. In 2009, I remember I was still doing this. 2009, I was working at the engineering firm right out of college. And my freelance work, because I was starting to code Flash files, code ActionScript 2.0 and 3.0 files. And I was so broke, right? Because you're right out of college. And I'm looking over here at all the hard drive boxes that I still have because they have a sentimental purpose, I guess, which sounds ridiculous right now as I'm saying it out loud. But like this one crashed on me. No, that one didn't. This one crashed on me. There's something about hard drives. There's something about data. I can't throw those boxes away. Does anybody else have that issue or is it just me? Certain things that tech related. All right, so I'm gonna get 2 of these. Eee. I'll have to address this bin someday. This was just a bin for IKEA storage bags. Now it's memorabilia. Check this. Oh yeah, cheerleading. I know we came in here for discs, but what the heck, right? Oh yes. My cheerleading pants, warm-up pants, Barbie jacket. Oh yeah. Oh, this one's good. T-shirts. Does anybody keep this stuff? This is the stuff that I don't want to get rid of. My track shorts from sixth grade and 8th grade. It smells like hot, old clothing in here. I don't ever remember wearing this, but my mom got this matching ones for my sister and I when we were kids. I was never into fashion. Barbie. Hold on, I'll give you a back view. And it was always way too big for me. It's not really in my style, but I thought maybe I would keep it and one day it would be worth money. Nah, I'm gonna sell that on Poshmark. See, you're helping me get rid of stuff already. Whew. Track. I'm the little one with the chubby cheeks. Do I look the same or different? Right there. That's Jessica. I think I was like 5 years old there. The woodpecker has since stopped, which is awesome. Okay. In terms of how much stuff stuff I have. If you knew how I grew up in the household where there was so much stuff, and whittling down and getting rid of stuff over the years that was like, ended up in my possession somehow. And where I am now, I'm just really proud. So, but I know that people are like, yeah, just get rid of it. Well, I have a lot of sentimental printed photos. It's pretty much what these big bins on the bottom are. My portfolio files from graphic design, because all of that is stuff I taught myself. Photography, coding, old resumes. I'm proud. It's part of my ability to be proud of myself. So I don't want to get rid of them. Maybe one day. No, never. Not if I can control that. Will 3 work? Okay, string. Let's see, my roommate has so many tools. One day I'll have like a tool thing. I can't wait. Maybe. Or maybe not. My camping stuff. My vacuum is out here. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, hey. Oh, yes. I found it. Okay, the string. I also have a lot of books. I have a lot of books, like resource books that I've read. When I taught myself how to code websites, a ton of those books. I have graphic design books, logo design books, all kinds of photography books. And something about having those and being able to read their binding, even if I don't open them back up again, it's valuable to me, even though it's not practical to keep that stuff. Marie Kondo is was helpful to see. I should watch that again. But especially if I go tiny, right? I don't want to have to store anything. For example, this is just a whole bin dedicated to good paper, printer paper, like high quality. There's sheet protectors in here, envelopes, what else? Labels. It's helpful to show it on camera because it helps me realize, okay, how many times a year do I actually reference this bin? At least once a month, if not twice. Is that enough to keep all this? No. Maybe. I don't know. The question remains. And I've got camping supplies. A couple of those bins. What's everybody else's storage situation like? Anybody? Memorabilia? I also have a thing for wrapping paper. I don't, I really like to use pretty wrapping paper when I give gifts. To receive gifts that's not the fun for me, to be able to wrap something and give it to somebody. I love it. So I have a whole section, and it goes back to when I was in a relationship with a man who had a daughter. I bought wrapping paper for, Christmas and her birthday, and I wanted to get manly wrapping paper, right? because that was going to be from Santa. And I obviously never got to some of them, but it was fun to be able to do that. I don't have kids of my own, so brings me back to, yeah. So I would think for wrapping paper, will I bring that with me when I go tiny? Wait for it. This is just a bin of bows and tape and labels and ribbon. I like crafts. And then also, I was at the public library a couple years back, and I met somebody. I was looking at the discount art books. So they were getting rid of a bunch of old books on art. And I was standing at the table looking through some of the books. They were like $1. And the man next to me, we started talking, and turns out he went to Indiana University, which is where I went, Kelley School of Business. And I was looking at painting books, and he's like, "Are you a painter?" I said, "I'm interested. I'm not a painter." And he said, "Oh, well, I have all of this paint from years and years, and I've been looking to donate it somewhere or find it like a good place for it." And that afternoon, I went to his house with his wife and sat down with them and had like a 2-hour conversation, and he bequeathed this onto me. All of these paints, okay? Here's just a portion of them. That's just some of them. And this is my own personal painting supplies. One bin. He gave me, I don't know, four containers that size and even bigger ones. And that's amazing. And I've used some of it, but I've wanted to find somebody who could use it more than I could use it right now to give it to. So I'm in the same predicament that he was when he didn't want to just donate it, or, I don't have the time to do it right now. So yeah, that's a whole other thing. But are there any painters? Does anybody paint? What's up, Alan? When am I going tiny? Hopefully soon. There we go, ribbon, use it for string, perfect. Smart. Should we curl it too? Oh, this might work too. No? Yes? Eee. Couldn't hurt. What about this? There you go. Ribbon, CDs on my finger. Thanks for letting me be nostalgic for a little bit. Oops. Nope. Closing. Whew. Shout out to my friend CG Birch, who had this made for me. Oops. It has my logo on it. She had it printed for me for helping her out with something really easy. I don't hear it. Okay, my scissors. Hey, everybody. I know it's all wobbly. Having the internal debate as to if I should go into the garage and get my bigger tripod, which I normally have right here. But I just saw it out there, thankfully, because I'd been missing it. So you guys aren't wobbling everywhere. Also, this is one of Stella's favorites. Little kitty play. Catch up in the chat. Elon said, hey, Jesus. Get it, Stella. Time and space. You're so funny. Got a tree. Right? Tasty ribbon. You actually used ribbon for your CDs. Nice. Aaron Stark, hey. You have to curl the ribbon. It's the law. That's exactly what I was thinking. You're picking up what I'm throwing down, and I didn't even have to say it out loud. Here comes Stella. First off, there's no sticky on this. So that first of all, martial law. Oh, here she goes. Oh yeah, get it. Get it, Stella, get it. I also have a pen drawer there too. Duh. Okay, so here's Stella Cam for a moment. Stella Cam. Get it, Stella? Ah! You can watch the internal debate she's having. See if she knocks this battery off. Cats are funny. Rotate device. It's not rotated. Stella Cam. Oh my gosh. That's funny. Get it, Stelly? Okay. Turning it back to me. Stand by. Okay. So we've got this. Just looking for my scissors. Skizzers. This is when I need my tool belt. Gaff tape, Avi. Simple, precautions that I have to take beforehand. I don't know if it's precautions, but fun has to be had with things while I'm doing things that are essentially a time suck of my day. So I might as well have some fun with them, right? Like gaff taping a bow to my head. So this is how I make life bearable. Because sometimes it's, these things are frustrating. I'm going to put one on Stella too see if she'll let me put it on for at least 30 seconds. Here we go. Stelly, matching bows, ready? She's distracted. Oh, Stella. Okay, I'll take it off. Why is it that cats are so freaked out by things on their coats? Okay, well that didn't work out well. It's off. It's off. You're okay, Stella. She is so confused right now. She's like, what was that? Stella. Hey, it's okay. It's gone. It's gone. It's gone. Here you go. Here, Stella, look. Stella, look. It's better than chewing my 3D printer filament. Present. Oh, here we go. Here comes the chew of the filament. She's like, well, this might be a great alternative.
There we go. I love cats. Get it, Stella, get it. Okay. Stella Cam. She's gonna report me, right? Space cat. She's not gonna kill the woodpecker. She is not an outdoor animal. All right, Stell. Still haven't found my scissors. Oh, they're in my back pocket. They're in my back pocket right here. Duh. We've got tape. We've got a bow. Anything else? Do I need my stepladder? Which is just right here. Wink. Lightweight stepladder. Best purchase ever. Into the woodpecker abyss we go. Turn these lights off, save some electricity. Oh gosh. Whee. Be right back. What a nice day. Oops. Ah, sunshine. Okay, let me know if the internet goes out, because I have spotty internet, probably because of these electrical wires everywhere. Okay. I'm assessing the situation. Ouch. Set this down. I'm still ribbon. Ladder. What do you think? What do you think? Is this woodpecker driving you insane? Or is it just me? Yes, no? Bueller? Imagine if he had an artificial intelligence chip in his brain and he could talk to me right now. Wouldn't that be crazy? We're not far off, folks. Okay, let's see if there's any length. Any kind of length. Maybe the bow is a slight betrayal. Trust from her POV. And you're supposed to serve her, not to be entertained, but for her cat spectacle, right, Nemesis? You're so right. There you go. Okay. Got scissors. Got ribbon. Compact disc. It's Friday. Whoop whoop. TGIF. Ooh, that's shiny and bright in my eyes. Okay, Boy Scouts. How do I tie a proper knot? He does look angry. Maybe it's because he's been punched in the face so much from boxing gloves. Okay, got life to deal with llama. I saw that. Hi, Hunter Williams. Let's see, who else did I miss? Anybody? Alan. Congrats on 4.8K. Thank you. Classic barbecue jacket. Yes, Jimbo James. Love it. Okay, there's a lot. You just do 2 loops. Niall, perfect. Can you imagine hitting it if it had a grin? I would be terrified if it just started. Yeah, you're right. If it had a grin, that's a really good point. Is that why it looks so angry? I feel like you'd get a lot better at boxing fast, right? If it had a grin. Lots of punching stuff out here. There's a thing that I sometimes like to hit right behind. Bop it. I actually am thinking about maybe hitting that here in a little bit to get out some of this frustration from the woodpecker noise. And just life in general, you know. Oh, the birds are so nice. And the nature is so beautiful, and then the electrical wires are just so not. It's nice. There we go. Thanks for hanging out with me. What's everybody up to while you're watching this stream? Time and space. Here we go. Here we go. I'm gonna mess up and do the wrong side and have a shoddy curl. Oh yeah, that was weak. You know that noise. Dink, dink, dink. Good one, huh? All right. This is such a great idea. There's one. I like to take my time when I do things like this. It's therapeutic for me. So I appreciate you hanging with me while I do it. I forgot about my bow on my head. Jessica, Cam. Got one. Not nice. Let me go get water. Oh my gosh, there's still 20 people here. Wow. I hope you were enjoying the sounds, sights and sounds of the backyard desert of Arizona. I went in and saw a notification on my computer pop up, something that I hadn't gotten to yet today, so I just took care of that. So thanks for being patient and hanging with me. I also grabbed my tripod so I could stop giving people motion sickness on live streams like this random stuff. I haven't heard him in a bit. I think that actually, that noise up there he is up there. I think that actually is the woodpecker. Has a red hat, per se. The Arizona woodpecker that I'm thinking of. Enhance. You all saw the pecker. Oh, SpaceX HLS contract. Nice. Is that the Lunar lander? Is that what Elon tweeted about yesterday? That I D-Lon coded? D-Lon? And I, in code, let me see what I read. Oh, I just see it. NASA HLS. I think I'm pretty smart, everybody. I think I was able to decode Elon's tweet. Wow, okay, cool. Finally. SpaceX bid $2.9 billion for the NASA Lunar Lander system, far below Blue Origin. Did this news just break today? Because yesterday he tweeted and I posted. Wow. I posted on his tweet. Holy crap, somebody said, holy crap, if that's true, it's just insanely awesome. I guess that's the reasoning behind all of Elon's moon-related tweets, Doge to the moon kind of stuff. Wow, that's a big deal. What does HLS stand for? The contract value is $2.941 billion, according to Christian Davenport. There's a 4 p.m. news conference. Is that going on right now? I'd love to watch that. According to multiple, his contractor, sole contractor. I mean, come on, duh. Nobody else could. I can't believe that they even made it a contest, but I guess they have to for fair market competition. Wow. His tweet. A reference to his tweet. Wish I could have somebody pull it up for me. But I don't think that stream is gonna happen. This is fine. Yesterday at this little self-validation. I'm just gonna retweet it. Yesterday at 2:01 p.m. from my Android. Elon had tweeted one day beforehand, and it took me that long to get to it. I said hashtag lowercase d Elon code.
the inner parameters, beginning parameters for an HTML code. And then I started mixing in some Excel formula code. So equals if. I did an if this then that statement. If, in brackets, spaceships or SpaceX Starship 1 lunar lander contract. It's right there. Lunar lander contract. Then fully stacked Starship will begin transporting building material and supplies to Moon with the moon emoji with Doge, with the Doge ticker by 2022. That's just my guess. If they're getting to orbit by July, which I think that they'll do, then it's possible that they'll start sending up, maybe not astronauts specifically on the missions in Starship, but definitely supplies to the moon to start building the spaceport refueling center and start organizing all of the materials that will be taken to Mars to start the colonization process. Elon, that's my thought on that. Okay, so then I put another coding parameter, and then underneath that I wrote if above, like lowercase, uppercase, lowercase, uppercase, lowercase, just because I felt like doing that, equals y, which means equals yes. So if the above is correct, which it was, we don't know about the building materials and stuff, but I'm assuming that's what they're going to start doing, right? As you know, this is just a step in the process, right? The first, and then I did a rocket emoji to moon emoji, will start with a sand falling in an hourglass. We'll start the clock emoji 4, and I tagged Elon Musk's hashtag elongated, because he wanted to go by elongate mission to hashtag Mars. And I had some other stuff in there about how but you can only do 200 and whatever characters, so I'm pretty proud. NASA announcement stream starts at 4 p.m. Eastern in 28 minutes. You should stream it here. That's a really good point. Okay. Cool. All right, 28 minutes from whenever you sent that. Oh my gosh, when I click on the thing. 26 minutes. Okay, I very well may. I think I'll probably watch it on my phone. I wonder if that will demonetize. Not that it matters. I don't make money off my live stream replays. That would be awesome if we did. Tom in Space, would you mind sending me over a DM on Twitter or on Discord, a link to where the live stream will be so I could just click on it? That would be so helpful. Thank you. Yeah, we should watch that actually. I think I'm getting a little burned out from being inside of my room so much. Where are the hummingbirds? Need to refill the feeders. Is that a dove? Or... The house is filled with love. There's a dove, right? They all need to be the same length, different lengths. Let's start with one. How's that sound? Should probably grab my hammer and some nails.
Yay. What does everybody think about that contract win? Anybody surprised? I miss my mouth. Sometimes that happens. It is 12:36 p.m. Thank you for sending the link, Tom in Space. Awesome. Sweet. Thank you. Got it loaded up over here. It's so helpful to have a direct link. Okay. Let me do one more. I guess it could be worse, right? It could be a dog barking the whole time during a stream, which would be fine, but probably not for Bodhi, who has to edit it. So for anybody who's just joined, I'm taking suggestions. There goes the word blending from fatigue. Suggestions or advice on how to deflect a woodpecker from the side of my bedroom from pecking all day and all night. How much wood would a woodpecker peck if a woodpecker could peck wood? And trust me, he's pecking a lot of wood. That sounds so bad. But he's literally, not figuratively, pecking wood. Okay. And last but not least, the curl. Not enough length. Why am I curling the ribbon, you ask? Tom in Space knows. It's an obligatory agreement between myself and ribbon and scissors that it needs to be curled. It's science. Jessica Kirsh science. Kirsh science. Should be another playlist or another series coming soon. Kirsh science. That's how the theme song will be. Kirsh science. Oh! Oh, 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 oh. Okay, there's that one. And then this one. Bird deflectors. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, let's go do this. Oh, somebody sent another super chat. Oh my gosh, thanks so much. Who was that? Find it, scrolling. Ah, thank you. Nicotine Jenkins. If you could choose one meal to eat for dinner every night. Oops. Potential fraud phone call came in. So every night forever, what would you choose? Pasta, spaghetti. I love pasta so much. What about you, Nicotine Jenkins? Thanks so much for the $10 in super chats. And you just might pay for a special treat dinner tonight that I'm gonna maybe treat myself to. I might order in. I never order in food. Yeah, right. Maybe some takeout. So thank you. That will definitely cover part of that cost. Okay, here's the situation at hand. Oh, it's really doing the number. See that? Yeah, that's not termites. That's the pecker. Okay. I've got to grab some nails. Thought maybe there might be some Christmas light nails already up there. Be right back. I don't know where my stuff is or what's in what anymore because of moving so much. So I just bring it all. Shout out to Ryobi Tools, by the way. I'm not sponsored by them, but that would be really cool. How close are we to stream time? Handy Jess, that's right. Nobody likes an overly ambitious pecker. Oh gosh. Specifically Alfredo. Mmm, yummy. Shamama. Shawarma. Pasta for life, says Nicotine Jenkins. Yeah, they're gonna have a disco party later. I don't know why I brought this here. Hi, buddy, what are you doing? Where's your bone? Where's your bone, Shadow? Get your bone with your toy. Shadow. Shadow, monster. Shadow, come here, buddy. Hi. All right, I'll allow you to jump up once just to show scale. Okay, everybody? I don't normally let him jump up. Come here, buddy. Because he knocks me over. Come here, buddy. Come here. Yes. Come here, buddy. Yes. I don't know if you can see him. Shadow, come here. Come here, buddy. Yes. Oh, he's so big. He's a big dog. Huge. He's a small horse. Come here, buddy. Come on. Here's your bone. Daily life with Jessica. Hey, buddy. You guys can't hear me because the tripod's over here. I just need a camera attached to my shoulders that points at me. That would solve life for a little bit. Solve some issues. Celebrate. So I just refreshed. The stream starts in 11 minutes. Dun 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 dun. Monster. Oh, you have one of the little one's bones. Get your bone. Bring a bone. Where's your bone, Shadow? Come here. Come here. This is, my roommate has two small huskies, or Creek eyes they're called. This is one of their bones. Come here. Get your bone, Shadow. Get your bone. He brought me his bone. Good boy. Big dog with a little bone. I was waving at helicopters. Anybody else a Ryobi tool user? Look at Shadow, he's a good boy. Okay. The iPhone is going to overheat. I totally forgot about that process. I'm going to put my somewhat kind of cold water bottle on it. Solution, not really. It's a so. Thanks for hanging out with me today. All this for discs? Yes. That's right. This is how an ADHD person gets things done. Very overly thorough with everything. That's why it takes so long to get things done. But I do them properly and they are fixed. The fence skate was my most recent.
project. Human landing system announcement. Yeah, that's totally gonna copyright strike. So I encourage everybody to go pull up. I think it's still counting. #1 prize. Go pull up NASA's live stream. There's 22 people here still hanging out. I don't know if people are just having me in the background, but I only see 2 people in the chat. 3, 4, 3. Interesting. I'd love to know comments or your thoughts, even if it's not related to what I'm doing. What are you thinking about today? Are you stressed about anything? Are you excited about anything? Are you grateful for something? Anybody that's in the background who maybe doesn't normally comment on streams, this is a great time. I would love to hear you, your voice in the chat, if you're open to sharing or saying hello, or where you're from, what the temperature is. It's a great time to get to know some people. Hi, Elixir. Do I also have a dog? I thought you only had Stella. I only have Stella, but my roommate, one of them has 3 dogs. Shadow, and then 2 little dogs that are with us in the house part-time. They share custody with his ex-girlfriend. So yes, I only have Shadow. No, I only have Stella. Shadow is his. Okay. Wood screw. I don't know if I have any more of them. This is my bin of screws. Yes, I repurpose screws. But I think I'm out. Almost totally out of exterior wood screws. So a lot of not do things the right way. But I'm gonna do I don't know what the material's made. I wonder if they're stuck up. No, that's wood. How about a 2-inch There's only 1,500 people watching that stream on NASA's side. Interesting. I wonder if SpaceX won't let us do that. NASA needs some help, I think, with their social media, or their broadcasting and announcers and music updates, and I think that there's a lot of talented people out there, maybe talented younger people, youth people maybe that are still, in primary school, or that if you are interested in science and space, and I really would encourage you to apply. I don't even know if it's available for like media or public relations for NASA, because they, in my opinion, need some serious help in just bringing some liveliness and vivacious young energy to get younger people excited about space. And it's not any fault of their own. The program has not been funded, right, for a number of years. But that's a little Kirsh rant right there. So go apply for jobs at NASA in media if you have any interest, anybody. Graphics, video. What's up, Mark? Conferencing, video editing, motion graphics, streams, audio, visual, expertise, events, all of that, please. For NASA's benefit and for space
space flight benefit and for my own benefit and everybody else. Okay, here we go. SpaceX. I follow SpaceX so closely because it's so exciting. It's so much fun. And part of that is Elon, making it so exciting and youthful and like a game. And part of it, I think, is just it's come up in a time period when I really needed something to focus on outside of being single and starting a YouTube channel and stuff like that. Okay. So I'm gonna put one here. F. So nervous. I missed. Sorry. Whoops. I would normally caulk it, but not today. I'm really short, right? Or should I put it up here? Thoughts, anybody? Try a spider. Yeah. Geriatric. Hello, Hector. Hello. Nice. Vladimir. Oh, thanks for everybody for speaking up about how you have it in the background. It's nice to know. I'm not able to see who's on the stream, so it's like I can't see anybody's names or usernames or anything, so might as well just be bots. So thanks for letting me know. Don't fall. Hate to ruin this perfectly white siding, but I need to shoot. It's hard to do one-handed. Okay. Coming up next. Okay, looks like they're still waiting on the stream to begin. I'm still live. That's funny. Oops. Come back. History. When hop, somebody said in the chat. Toxic_big fat baby. It's one of the usernames. I think that person's been bullied. Hi, Hunter. True Blue Wet. Yes, ready for the big HLS announcement at 4 p.m. Hashtag Spurs. Oh, here we go. Kathy.
We have some very exciting news to share with you about the article. Later today, NASA's going to announce the team that won the competition to build the lander that will take astronauts to the moon. This is a really big
Stop scripting everything, NASA.
in about 50 years. The best thing about competitions is that they bring different people and teams together to think about challenges.
So
or
many
problems
comments.
in new ways. That's why we ask students across the country to compete in our Artemis Moon Pod essay contest. We ask students from grades K through 12 a similar question. How would you design a mission to the moon? I have to tell you, those essays we got back are truly inspiring. Today, you get
sound
to
inspired.
hear from the finalists. Thank you to the teachers who organized this activity in your classroom, and all of the brilliant students who wrote an essay, and for sharing your lunar exploration dreams with us. We are doing everything we can to make them come true.
Wow, I'm feeling so inspired right now.
Greetings from the Artemis
Sarcasm.
Space. This is the commander reporting on our first day, along with my strong, determined,
That's a young person.
well-trained, curious, and optimistic team of 4 members.
My crew is going to have
Young
astronauts
people.
who are doctors, mechanics, and scientists.
Ah!
Each astronaut is a team
That's
player
inspiring.
who's calm and can make good decisions.
There we go. That's what we need here is youth.
Expedition to the Moon softball. The BEST.
BEST best.
consists of Barbara, Elizabeth, Steve, and Tyler. This mission will put to test our field-leading abilities and
Here,
years
Robin
of
K.
bonded friendship to establish a permanent research facility on the moon's south pole powered by Krusty. My top priority would be analyzing the water deposits of the permanently shadowed craters. Water is essential for drinking, fuel, cooling machinery, and growing plants, making it the most important commodity on our moon.
A system of solar panels can be set up around a crater that receives constant sunlight to power both a BrickoBot and a brick-baking solar oven.
Thus, observatory could probe deep
Young
space
people.
without light interference from the
On
Earth.
NASA.
Since the moon has no atmosphere to diffuse it, light from the sun would have little effect on stargazing.
Using our comprehensive and diverse skill set, we will provide a practical tool that will change lunar exploration forever.
Embarking on this incredible adventure, I couldn't help but be grateful to be given this opportunity to lead the most remarkable crew and to know I was a part of the Artemis generation.
Hey, I'm part of SpaceX.
Hello, I'm astronaut Randy Bresnick, and I just wanted to say great job to all the essay contest finalists. It is truly inspiring to hear young people thinking about the future of space exploration.
Right?
All of us at NASA were once kids just like you.
Yes.
Imagining what it would be like to go into space,
Yes.
to walk in space, to walk on the moon, or build the next generation of great spacecraft, which is what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
Big dreams like those aren't easy to achieve.
No.
It takes teams across the country and around the world
A village
working
to build a
together to make it all possible. We're counting on all of you to dream big and join us in continuing being creative, working hard, and keep working together. This is an amazingly exciting time for the Artemis program. For you, for me, for all of us in the Artemis generation. This is our time. So keep watching to find out which human landing system design or designs will be continuing forward in the developmental process, and follow at NASA Artemis on social media for all the latest updates. Go Artemis.
Go Artemis. You guys hear that? I feel like I just mentioned that in that short little Kirsh rant I just did. Yeah? No? Yes? You heard me and then you heard them, right? Young people. Apply. Really inspires me to want to do life is come on. Hopefully NASA will inspire young people. In the space race.
The importance of landing humans back on the moon is we're going back in a way that is totally different. We've had almost 60 years of experience, and we're taking every single ounce of experience we have and taking that with our international partners, with our commercial partners.
We've been working for the last year with 3 partners who will help us achieve the next human mission to the moon. because we know that this first step to the moon will then lead us to go to Mars. And we know that the human landing system is one of the first steps to get us there. And so we've been working with Dynetics, Alido's company. We've been working with Blue Origin, who have partners Draper, Lockheed Martin, and Northrop Grumman. In addition, we've also been working with SpaceX.
I love the build-up music.
This is a very, very exciting time for the Human Landing System program. They've spent a lot of blood, sweat, and tears over this last couple years getting ready for this moment.
We're really excited to bring you the announcement of who NASA is going to continue to finish out the human landing system and take humans back to the moon.
Wow! Cool.
NASA has chosen SpaceX to return us to the moon.
Yeah!
I am so excited to partner with SpaceX in this fantastic endeavor for the Artemis suite of missions.
Yay!
So congratulations to the SpaceX team.
Go SpaceX!
SpaceX design is a single-stage solution using their Starship. It provides extensive volume for the crew with 2 airlocks and ample down mass capability. The SpaceX proposal included in-space propellant transfer demonstration and uncrewed test landing. So now that we've selected our partner, and for the next phase going forward, we have to make sure that the testing occurs, because we're not going to launch humans until we have a successful test. So we will be working to make sure that the design and everything that we have going forward so far is ready to go.
So the human landing system is going to allow us to be able to access different parts of the lunar surface. But it also allows us to explore a new technology and capabilities that will help us when we are trying to figure out our next round of technologies to be able to help us land on Mars or other planets out there.
I'd like to thank the companies for the great work this past year. We've all learned a lot. I'd like to thank the NASA team, because you have definitely risen to this challenge.
It is one more step and an exciting group of steps that will get us to a sustainable human landing system to the moon.
Wow! Whoa! No music. That demonetizes. Starship now official has NASA's backing. Yay! About time. Is that it? Any more? Head is disabled? Oh. Okay. That's my texting face. Ça vient? C'est fini? Je suis la jeune fille. Is there more? Does anybody know? Is Elon gonna come on and speak? What's up, Carl? Yes. Cost is a huge factor. I haven't looked at where Elon's jet is this morning. I don't know where he is, but if he'll be at a NASA press conference in person Wherever his jet went will tell us, likely. And if it's in Brownsville, then that means Starship's going to happen next week.
The Associate Administrator for the Human Exploration and Operations Mission Directorate.
That audio.
Mark Kirsh, Deputy Associate Administrator for Advanced Exploration Systems. Lisa Watson Morgan, the Human Landing System
This
Program
is not my
Manager.
house, by the way. Whoever commented on the wire,
And
it's a
Tyler
rental.
Cossack, the
But
Human
yes.
Landing System Contracting Officer. Each speaker will make brief remarks, and then we will open the lines for questions from the media. For the reporters on the line, when it's time for questions, press star 1 to get into the queue and ask a question. Please remember to state your name and media affiliation before you speak and address the
Oh,
speaker
it's all this
who
way.
you'd like to answer your question.
COVID.
Please ask one question and address one speaker at a time. You may enter the queue again and ask additional questions afterwards. First, we will hear from acting NASA Administrator Steve Jerzik. Steve?
Gotta be even, obviously. This is how I stay in shape. Stand up, sit down, fight, fight, fight.
Monica, it looks like Steve's line has disconnected,
Starlink, another reason for
Thank you.
Starlink.
so I'll watch for
okay.
them to call back in. Oh, I think I might have them one moment. They're calling back. Apologize.
SpaceX, NASA needs SpaceX now more than ever. Starlink internet would be. They need it. Am I right? Anybody else agree? Just saying. Okay, I feel good about this. Thank you.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. This is Steve Jerzik. I'm excited to be here today to provide an update on our Artemis program. For the last year, NASA has continued to move our programs and missions forward while keeping our workforce healthy and safe. And like all organizations, it's been a real challenge, but I've been real proud of our workforce and our partners and what we've been able to accomplish. Less than a year ago, we had the first launch of American astronauts from American soil with the Demo 2 mission in almost a decade, followed by the Crew 1 mission in November, and the Crew 2 mission is set to launch April 22nd, Thursday of next week.
Both of which are
Really,
live streamed.
really proud of the NASA SpaceX team. We continued safe and productive operations of the International Space Station.
Hey, what do you think?
We had the launch and landing of the Perseverance rover, and we're currently preparing for the first powered flight on another planet with the Ingenuity helicopter. These and many other accomplishments are a testimony to the talent, hard work, and dedication of the NASA workforce, along with our industry and international partners, and I could not be more proud of our team. The U.S. leads in space exploration now, but more and more countries are taking aim at the moon. We have a strong plan to get astronauts back on the moon under the Artemis program, and we're excited about these next steps. We are working diligently with our partners to ensure we meet our national goals of landing the next American astronauts on the moon as quickly and safely as possible. At least one of those astronauts will make history with this lander as the first woman on the moon, a historic first. Additionally, the first person of color will also walk on the moon as part of the Artemis program. Part of our mission is inspiration, and we are inspiring the Artemis generation, and we won't stop at the moon. NASA's long-term goal has always been to send humans to Mars, which is rich in discovery, and the moon is a natural stepping stone to getting us there. The Artemis lunar landing is a key piece to our Moon to Mars
How is there
strategy.
no other people of color?
Targeting the soonest possible launch date will better focus our engineering, technology development, and processes to safely and successfully establish sustainable lunar exploration and prepare for Mars. The next lunar landing will drive discoveries in science and technology, support the emerging deep space economy, and maintain strategic national leadership in space.
This is how
We
you're
believe
listening.
that turning to the moon is strategically important with
Heads
numerous rewards and benefits, and we should accomplish the next landing as soon
This is not my audio problem. Just to let
Today
you
is
know.
a big step forward. In that, we are announcing a key capability. We need to return astronauts to the surface of the moon for the first time since 1972, a modern human landing system. This is an incredible time to be involved in human exploration for all humanity. So we have a lot of information to get through today, so I'm going to turn it back over to Monica to introduce our next speaker.
Thank you, Steve. Next, we will hear from Kathy Leaders, the Associate Administrator for the Human Exploration and Operations Mission Directorate at NASA. Kathy?
Thanks again for being here. You know, when Steve asked me to take on this job last year, I knew there'd be a lot of exciting missions going on, but once again, you guys get to hear today about another exciting milestone that we have in progress for human spaceflight and exploration under now the Artemis program. You know, the human landing system is a vital part of NASA's deep space exploration plans. And the human landing system joins our other parts, NASA's Space Launch System, the Orion spacecraft, and the Gateway Lunar Outpost, and really completes then the foundation of NASA's lunar exploration program. These are all vital parts of NASA's deep space exploration plans. And we've seen a lot of recent success with so many of these components. So let me go through a few things here. Just recently, the core stage of NASA's Space Launch System, the most powerful rocket the agency has ever built, completed a full-duration green run hot fire test. This was a critical milestone ahead of the agency's Artemis 1 mission, which will send an uncrewed Orion spacecraft on a test flight around the moon and back to Earth, and which will pave the way for our future Artemis missions to the lunar surface. I always say that Artemis 1's our shakedown cruise. It's where we're making sure that the vehicle is all checked out before we next put the crews on that mission. Additionally, in the last year, we made agreements to collaborate on the Gateway Lunar Outpost with 3 international partners and have a number of commercial contributions on the Gateway. NASA is showing everyone we have what it takes, but we're not doing it alone. It's very important for us that we do it as a team
Subcontract.
with both our international partners and our industry partners. So our goal 50 years ago was to prove we could land humans on the moon and return them safely to Earth. And this time our goal is to return to the moon in a sustainable way, to gain insight and bring back lessons that will help propel us into greater exploration that's never been done before. And we're doing it different in a lot of ways this time. Our efforts will draw on insight and effort from across America, serving as an unparalleled and inspiring example of what humanity can do when it comes together to achieve a common goal for the common good. We bring together the capabilities and resources of our international and commercial partners to return to the moon and go on to Mars. And we will demonstrate to young people around the world the power of a unified purpose. We're also doing with crews that are more diverse than ever before. Near and dear to my heart, we are sending a woman, like Steve said, to the surface of the moon on this lander.
A female on the moon.
Representing the diversity of the American public will mean a lot for those out there who will be watching. We'll show them you can land on the moon. And this is what an astronaut looks like. So we're hoping to not only get a woman on the moon, but as we're bringing our future missions on, also getting a person of color on the moon so all of us can see ourselves on the moon.
Duh.
We are grateful for the contributions and commitments from all of our commercial and international partners. NASA's Apollo program proved it is possible to land humans on the moon and return them safely to Earth. But when NASA returns to the moon with the Artemis program, It will go in a way that reflects the world today,
That could be
with
taken out of
government,
context.
industry, international partners, in a global effort to build and test the systems needed for challenging missions to Mars and beyond. So I'm going to turn it over to Monica because I think there's some news that's coming up for us.
Oh boy, buckle up, everybody.
Thank you, Kathy. So next, we will hear from the HLS Program Manager, Lisa Watson-Morgan, who has some exciting news about the U.S. company that's building the Artemis human lander.
Oh.
Lisa?
I didn't know there were.
Thanks, Monica. It's a real honor to be part of the NASA team working toward our Artemis mission and to lead the incredible and resilient HLS team across the agency that's spread all across the country with U.S. industry to bring us to this very exciting step today. I'd like to personally thank each of the teams, each of the companies that have been with us in this endeavor. The Blue Origin-led team, the Dynetics team, a Leidos company, and the Spacex team. Your leadership teams and host of personnel executing during this amazing 11 months has been really wonderful. The HL team developed outstanding relationships with each of the partner companies during this 11-month period. And each company provided unique strengths during the base period. We moved rapidly, and we achieved milestones that got us closer and closer to our goal of a human lunar landing. We worked through technical and safety standards to include health and medical requirements for the crew. Each design was different, which was really exciting to see. And during the base period of performance over the last several months, we were looking to see what industry partners could bring to NASA with respect to innovation for a modern human landing system. NASA encouraged offers to propose those innovative solutions performing crewed lunar demonstration missions. Throughout the procurement, NASA and the base period contractors have been working towards reliable and economical solutions to meet our goals. NASA personnel supported each partner, providing design support, analysis, subject matter experts, and testing. NASA had this inline team working alongside each partner, which helped us to move faster. This collaborative relationship will continue as we move into this Option A period of performance. And NASA will continue to work closely with our selected partner to build the first commercial HLS. NASA is providing insight throughout this development and is ensuring that this system will be safe for our astronauts. In addition, NASA is requiring a test flight to fully check out all systems with a landing on the lunar surface prior to our formal demonstration mission. As you know, that Option A demonstration mission is where we take humans to the surface and return them safely so that Orion can return them back safely to Earth. So we want to make sure that everything is checked out and everything is ready prior to that. So today, I'm very excited, and we are all very excited to announce that we have awarded SpaceX to continue the development of our integrated human landing system. SpaceX Starship is a fully reusable launch and landing system designed for travel to the moon and other future destinations. It's a single-stage crewed landing system. It utilizes Earth orbit refueling of liquid oxygen and liquid methane propellants. The system leans on the company's tested Raptor engines, flight heritage of the Falcon and Dragon vehicles. Starship includes a spacious cabin and 2 airlocks with a great deal of space for our crew, as well as additional payload capability that will permit us to take experiments to the moon and return samples back and do all the important science that we want to do on this mission. As the first human lunar lander in 50 years, this innovative human landing system will be a hallmark in space exploration history, and we're going to help to write that history. NASA's Apollo program captured the world's attention and demonstrated the power of America's vision and technology and can-do spirit. And we expect Artemis will similarly inspire great achievements, innovation, and scientific discoveries. We're confident in NASA's partnership with SpaceX to help us achieve the Artemis mission and look forward to continuing our work toward landing astronauts on the moon to prepare for the next giant leap towards Mars. Thank you, Monica.
Thank you, Lisa, and this is a very exciting time. Next, we will hear from Mark Kirsh, the Deputy Associate Administrator for Advanced Exploration Systems at NASA. Now, this is an exciting time. There are also exciting steps ahead. So that's what we're going to hear from Mark. Mark?
Thank you, Monica. And as you said, today represents a huge accomplishment on our journey, but it's certainly not the last, and that's what we want to talk about now. Kathy mentioned earlier that we are more open than ever to innovative ideas and new ways of doing business, and that extends beyond today's award. There's a lot in store for NASA teaming with industry, and our planned activities on the lunar surface and the cislunar space around the moon will provide excellent opportunities for NASA to expand its commercial and global partnerships. So for the past year, under the base period contract, NASA has worked with 3 contractors, and moving forward today, NASA and SpaceX will continue development of really 2 vehicles. One, the first will be an uncrewed lunar landing test flight, and the second will be the first crewed landing. So again, this contract, the Option A contract, is for a single crewed landing demonstration mission. We have to move on to next. We have to be able to provide the recurring landing services for, as Kathy talked about, the sustainable mission we have. So, the majority of the HLS program will be focused on this first crewed mission under the contract we awarded today. Lisa's team will also begin work immediately on this follow-up competition. We're accelerating what we call the Human Lunar Landing Services Procurement. This competition will provide regularly recurring services to the lunar surface that will enable these crewed missions on a sustainable basis. As early as next week, we'll be engaging industry for their input on how to best fashion and enable competition for this very important acquisition. We'll be looking for the best mechanism out of the suite of acquisition tools we have available to get the best and most possible industry participation. All of us here at NASA were impressed with all of our base period partners, their unique and innovative solutions to meet our goals. And our hope is that we'll see all 3 of these companies and other companies who weren't in the base period providing transportation to the moon, increasing opportunities for exploration, and stimulating a lunar-based economy. So we all look forward to working with SpaceX. Lisa, congratulations to your team for the work they've done to get us here. And Monica, back to you.
Thank you, Mark. So now we will open the floor for questions from the media. For reporters on the line, press star 1 to get into queue and ask a question, and the operator will open you when it's your time. Please remember to state your name and media affiliation before you speak and address the specific speaker that you would like to answer your question. Please only ask one question per speaker at a time. Thank you.
We will now begin the question-answer session. As a reminder, it's star 1 to ask a question. Unmute, clearly record your name and association. One moment. Our first question comes from Issam Hamid. Your line is open.
Oh, hi. Thanks for taking my question. This is Issam Ahmed from ASP. Sorry, it might be a fairly basic question, but I'm trying to understand how Lander sort of integrates with SLS and Orion together, because Starship is its own system as well. So how do they sort of combine? What's going to happen there? Sorry, whoever is most relevant for that. Hello?
Yeah.
Hey, Lisa, why don't you answer that?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. So that's a great question, and thank you for the question. So what we plan on doing is, from an operational concept, HLS goes to the near rectilinear halo orbit, and we're there loitering, performing system checkouts and making sure that everything is ready. The ECLS system, life support system, all systems go and ready. And so once we get that okay, that the system is ready to ferry crew, then the SLS carries Orion
to the near rectilinear halo orbit, at which time it will dock with Gateway. And then, so for our future missions, then we will receive crew from the Gateway. For our initial mission, we can receive crew from either direct from Orion or from Gateway. So we must have the SLS and Orion complement in order to take the crew to the location in orbit at which we will receive the crew, and then the HLS, the SpaceX architecture that we have awarded, will then descend to the lunar surface with our crew. They will get out and perform EVAs, moonwalks, the science, get back into the Starship, and return back to the safe haven, at which time they'll go into Orion, which will return them back to the Earth.
Thank you.
Our next question comes from Andrea Linefelder with the Houston Chronicle. Your line is open.
Hi, thank you for taking this questions. Lisa, this is for you. I've got two questions. First, the Starship, is it going to launch on the SLS to get out into orbit? How does it get there? And then second, obviously we've been watching the development, and they haven't quite stuck the landing yet. So are you sure that it'll be ready in time for when NASA plans to be lowering astronauts on the moon? Thank you.
So for the human landing system, all partners had to propose an entire integrated landing system to include a launch vehicle. And so for this design, SpaceX has chosen to launch Starship and many refueling tankers on a super heavy booster. And so everyone had to propose their own launch vehicle in order to take their system to the place to marry up with Orion and Gateway. And so, as I mentioned earlier, we also are performing a landing test on the moon prior to any crew readiness activities, and that will give us the confidence that we know that our partners, along with us, will be ready. In addition, as I mentioned in some of the opening remarks, we have a collaborative workforce, which are subject matter experts on the NASA team who are working alongside the partners. So we'll work alongside with SpaceX, and as we have areas that we need to work through, then we'll work through those. But right now, everything looks good.
Oh, looks good. Campbell's chicken noodle soup.
Our next question comes from Stephen Clark, Space Flight Now. Your line is open.
Thank you for taking my question. Stephen Clark, Space Flight Now. Just wanted to get some comments on why NASA did not select more than one HLS provider for option A. We've heard NASA for years now talk about the benefits of competition with COTS and CRS and commercial crew. And it seems like you're at least for this demonstration, not going that route. So just some comments on why not. And also just a clarification for the Option A demonstrations, how many refueling tankers will be needed for the Starship flight to the moon? And also, will this Option A demonstration go through the Gateway, or will Orion dock directly to the Starship, and how does that work? Some more details there, please. Thanks.
So I'll take the first part, and then I'll let Lisa take the second part. Okay. This is obviously part of an overall strategy, right? And so we weighed a lot of things, including what we're getting from the demonstration mission, what we want for our potential future procurement for our sustainable landers, and it was in NASA's best interest, along with kind of the budget that was there, for us to award to one demonstration mission at this time. But Lisa, I'll let you go ahead and jump in and talk about the rest of it.
Okay, thank you. So yeah, as I mentioned, we will initially be docking with Orion in order to receive the crew. That is the plan today. And one of the requirements was that for our initial mission, which is the Option A demonstration, everyone had to be able to dock and transfer crew. And for future missions that Mark discussed, some of our sustaining and services missions in the future, we will require docking to both. And we will primarily receive crew from Gateway. That's our sustained path to give us global access to the moon and will help us to have a more sustainable program.
Is anything important?
Our next question comes from Jeff Faust from Space News. Your line is open.
Oh, cool.
Good afternoon. Question probably for Lisa Watson-Morgan. If you can elaborate a little bit more on the factors that led you to select SpaceX and only SpaceX for the award, technical, price, etc. And then also perhaps for Acting Administrator Jerzik, you mentioned returning humans to the moon as soon as possible. Do you have a no earlier than date? Is 2024 still feasible for doing so? Thank you.
Like we talked about, we looked at, and I think you all will see the source selection statement, but we talked about kind of looking at, obviously, with the factors that are there, what's the best value to the government, right, for the technical approach that's there. I want to emphasize, we tend to talk about this particular award, but this is part of a strategy for us an overall strategy for us to get to sustaining missions to the lunar surface, which is what, Mark Kirsh had already talked about. So when we looked at that overall strategy and we looked at where we are now and with the award that we had now and the capabilities there, and then we also looked at how we're evolving our Artemis strategy and looking at potentially bringing in our services procurement earlier, like Mark talked about, we felt like this was the best strategy at this point.
All right, everybody, I just want to check my battery.
From a NASA perspective, for us to award to begin discussions with industry about how to further develop additional competition out there for a future services contract. So this is obviously part of an overall larger strategy, and we'll be continuing to, include you on that strategy as that strategy gets approved at the agency level and, gets rolled out. This is the first step.
Yeah, and Jeff, here's the second part to your question. So we're currently undertaking internal comprehensive review of Artemis and its component programs to ensure that they can be implemented as quickly, efficiently, and effectively as possible within our existing resource constraints, while maintaining the safety standards, making sure we can conduct the missions safely with our astronauts. The HLS contract provides for a launch and lunar landing as soon as 2024, in accordance with the contractor's proposed development and mission schedule. So we had made landing in 2024 a goal in the RFP we put out that allowed the three contractors to update their proposals. And that's what's in the plan right now that SpaceX proposed, and we're awarding a contract for. Congress provided funding that supports the award of the contract, and includes the schedule. These human-rated system developments are very complex, and there is risk, but the NASA team will have the insight into the progress that SpaceX is making, and if they're hitting their milestones, we may have a shot at 2024, and we'll, again, like Kathy said, we'll keep you updated as we move along with SpaceX.
I think we always fly when it's safe, right? And as you guys have noticed, as we've been bringing on new capabilities, yes, you have a goal of when you want them to happen, but we are flying people again, and we will be flying people to the lunar surface, and we'll do it when it's safe.
Yeah, Kathy's absolutely right. We're never going to drive to a date or a programmatic goal and compromise safety. I think we've demonstrated that, with our current partnerships, and that'll be the case for the development of the human landing system. So thanks for the question.
Our next question comes from Eric Berker. Your line is open.
Hi, Eric Berg with Ars Technica. Thanks for doing this. Two questions, I guess. One for Steve and one for Kathy. Steve, I guess, would it be accurate to say that NASA could not afford the Dynetics and National Team bids with the current budget from Congress? You got about 1/4 of what you asked for, and SpaceX was clearly the lowest bid. And then Kathy, I'm just curious, was the progress that we've all seen in Boca Chica, they're blowing up Starships, but they're moving really quickly in their development program. Was that a factor in your determination that SpaceX had the best plan or the fastest plan to get NASA back to the moon?
Yes. Yes. Yes, Tom.
Hey, Eric, this is Steve. Yes, so we've evaluated each company's proposal independently, and we used the criteria that in the solicitation, which is in order of importance, technical approach, cost, and management approach. So given the evaluation of the three proposals, the technical approach, cost and management approach, and the budget we have available, we determined the best way forward for us was to select SpaceX for option A, and then to move forward and accelerate the landing services procurement. And we'll be reaching out to all of industry to get input on how to best move forward on a landing services procurement, which will enable awards for HLS contracts for landers subsequent for the first landing, demo landing with SpaceX.
That didn't answer the question.
Hey, and I think the second question was the role of SLS and Orion, and how does the HLS get to orbit? And I think, Lisa, why don't you talk a little bit about kind of the concept? I think you covered it before when you talked about, we're planning on doing a human landing system rendezvous in, NRHO, but why don't you talk a little bit about the Spacex concept? And normally we'd have one of the providers here under these types of things and have them talk about their concepts, but Lisa and the team have been working with them really closely. Go ahead, Lisa.
Gotta get that tiny house.
Okay, thank you. So SpaceX will have multiple launches, and part of their concept is to have refueling in low Earth orbit. They'll perform that refueling, and that will allow them to go back and forth. And as we mentioned, once the Starship portion is fully checked out, then the SLS will launch the Orion to the appropriate rendezvous point, and they'll do their rendezvous and prox operations, and where they'll dock and gather the crew and perform all the science. So very, the typical operational concept and mission architecture and the timeline that we have.
Cool. Our next question comes from Keith Cowan with NASAWatch.com. Your line is open.
Hi, question for Steve Jerzik. Senator Nelson's been a staunch supporter of the SLS since day one. And if NASA really used the capability of SpaceX's Starship architecture to its fullest sustainable extent, this could easily set forth a path for the Senator Nelson's confirmation hearing is next week. If he says that this procurement decision needs to be revisited, is NASA prepared to redo the initial Phase A procurement to pick more than one HLS contractor? And if Congress needs to enact changes in law to accommodate a procurement change, has NASA given thought as to how this will be accomplished?
Okay, so kind of three parts there. First part is we have no plans to change our architecture and our concept of operations for the lunar landing missions. I think both Kathy and Lisa outline how the architecture is laid out and how the concept of operations is going to work, and we have no plans to change that. So, you know, we've conducted this procurement as we said we would, with a competition for a base period of contract and selecting 3 contractors, and then updated proposals for them through an updated set of requirements, and we evaluated those proposals and made a selection, and we're moving forward. We have no intent to revisit the selection at all. We said we did what we said we were going to do according to what was in the request for proposal, and we're moving forward, and don't anticipate requesting or needing any change in law.
There we go. That solves that.
Our next question comes from Chris Davenport from the Washington Post. Your line is open.
Hi, thanks guys, I appreciate it. I guess this is for Kathy. First, I don't know that Eric Berger's question got fully answered. I was wondering the same thing in terms of the cost, the prohibiting me from moving forward with more than one provider. And also, it's the first time we're hearing it about this landing services contract and subsequent competition. I'm just wondering, do you think you'll have more money then for that? If you could provide some details, how many flights you're thinking about, what the timeline is on that, thanks.
So, first the way and Chris, you're well aware of the way the process goes. I mean, the team goes off. We got 3 really great proposals. The team went in and looked at them, and then looking at the proposal, the first thing you get to do is for selection is go say what's the best value to the government within the strategy and the goals of the original goals of the procurement, right? And so understanding that, but then we also go and look at how does that then fit within with the overall strategy and where we are now with what we're trying to achieve. And one of the things that we found out as we're trying to achieve is we would really like to have human landers at the end of the 20s. And when you want to have human landers at the end of the 20s, you start backing that up and you start saying, I have to have services probably start being procured 5 or 6 years before that, right? And so when we started looking at the timelines and refining the timelines, this ended up kind of fitting in the right time with the goals that we're trying to achieve right now. And so we're still in the nascent period. We just last week went to an acquisition strategy council with Steve Jerzik on laying out the strategy with the timing of the services procurements. And so it's an evolving thing. And like I said, we'll have to continue to talk to you about that over this next, few months as we're working through it. This was for us to talk about this particular procurement, but because we knew that there was a potential for there to be some questions about how does this fit in with the rest of the strategy, we're starting to talk about the rest of the strategy. There always was a rest of the strategy. If you went back to the procurement strategies that were there over the last few years, we had periods where we were trying to figure out, and we had different strategies to evolve the systems that people had, and then eventually buy services at some point. And as we've been learning things over time, and as the rest of our systems are maturing, including our gateway system, which is coming on contract, we obviously are going through our first demonstration of our crew transportation systems, and now we're starting to get better understanding and fidelity on the timing of when we would like our services procurement to happen. The team needs to go out and look and see how many missions we'll be procuring, but we know we would like to procure multiple missions and have it so that there's a significant investment for people and that we have significant competition for that level of services.
Our next question comes from Chelsea Goad. Your line is open.
Hi, Chelsea Goad from Space.com. I understand that going forward this means that Starship will be the vehicle to complete this lunar landing, and it's been said that a variation on Starship is what SpaceX intends to land as part of this program. Is there any more information now that they've been chosen about what this variation actually looks like, how it will be different from the prototype that we've seen before, and what is planned?
This is Lisa. I'm happy to take that one if you want me to, Kathy.
Go ahead and take some, but you know what's really nice with these kinds of agreements is, SpaceX also will be, I'm sure, very happy to talk about their strategy too. But Lisa is obviously very aware of it. But it will be good. It will be good for folks to reach out to SpaceX also.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's a great point. Just from the human landing system standpoint, we had 27 requirements, functional and performance requirements, that we asked the offerers, including SpaceX, to respond to. And we went through, a very detailed design, technical design, construction standards, safety, as well as health and human performance work. And all of that was pulled together, and that shifted various aspects of their Starship. Now, which ones of those? Kathy is right. It would be better to ask SpaceX, but they were able to meet or exceed the items that we require for a safe human landing.
I got a new thumbnail.
Our next question comes from Will Robinson Smith, Spectrum News 13. Your line is open.
Hi, thanks for doing this. Can you all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Great. My question is for Lisa. Just wanted to circle back on that. The Super Heavy will be the launch vehicle that will carry Starship, correct, to the Lunar Gateway? And just to follow up on that, as far as the timeline for the Option A demonstration, is there a more specific date on when exactly that will happen?
No.
Thanks.
Next month, dude. Stay tuned.
So Super Heavy, you are correct. That is the launch vehicle.
No.
And we are working towards the goal of 2024, just as we have had in the solicitation. Our next question comes from Irene Klutz. Your line is open.
Oh my God, this is so painful.
Thanks, Irene Klutz with the Aviation Week. Is this contract dependent on a certain funding level for HLS and fiscal 21? And if so, what's that amount? That's for Steve. And for Kathy, is there an on-ramp for Blue Origin and Dynetics or anybody else for that matter to compete for the landing services procurement, or is this sort of a one-way road for SpaceX? Thanks.
Hey, so yeah, we awarded the contract with SpaceX given the appropriations we have in FY21 and what we believe are realistic budgets in future years. So we believe this is doable within what we have and what we can expect in funding. Kathy, you want to take the second piece?
So, what's the second piece? Sorry, remind me. Oh, the on-ramp. So sorry, Irene. So the services procurement is going to be a full-up procurement, right? So everybody will be full and open procurement. So we're actually hoping that everybody's out there, and even new providers are out there and looking at, starting to look at different, the best opportunities for us to have a sustainable lander system and being able to provide sustaining landing services for multiple missions. We'll be, Irene, starting to get the data out there and everything, like Lisa talked about. We had a set of requirements for this demonstration mission, but we're actually putting together our sets of requirements now for our sustaining lander system and starting to pull together the strategies for that new full and open sustaining landing services contract.
Support people. Did it?
Our next question comes from Jake Robbins. Your line is open.
Hi there. Thanks for taking my question. I know that the Starship exceeds the mass and volume of the minimum requirements for the landing system. And I'm wondering if there's any consideration right now on changing any of the logistics, either for a gateway or for the landing, to account for the increased capability now that you've signed on Starship.
Hey, Mark, you want to talk about that? You're kind of working overall architecture. I mean, everybody just found out today, so I'm sure we'll be looking at, like Steve said before.
From the last tweet yesterday.
We'll be looking at different options, but we're sticking to obviously the basic pieces of our architecture. But Mark, you got anything else you want to add?
I'll just reiterate, Kathy. Now that we've made the selection today, SpaceX does have the Starship has additional capabilities, and we'll be factoring it into our mission planning, figuring out what pieces we need to fly when to support the mission. So that's the work we have planned in the next couple of months. But certainly, Jake, what you suggested is certainly something we'll be looking at.
I'll just find it. It's hilarious.
Our next question comes from Chris Kephart. Your line is open.
Thank you. I'm Chris Kephart with NASA Spaceflight. I think this is for Lisa. Earlier on, you mentioned that this Option A contract isn't just for the crewed lunar landing flight in 2024, but also for an uncrewed demonstration flight prior to that. Can you walk me through that demonstration flight? How closely will it mirror an actual mission? Will it be required to test life support systems, the elevator? Will you look to put cargo on it? And is the plan to then leave that uncrewed demonstration lander up there and then use it for the crewed lunar landing in 2024? Thank you.
Tyler Perkins, are you on the screen?
So for our landing demonstration test, it is really the descent portion. We want to make sure that we can successfully and safely land the crew on the lunar surface. And so we wrote, as with everything on the human landing system, we tried to capture high-level requirements. And then from that, then we will, as you have alluded to, we can drill down deeper as needed as we get closer. So for now, it's a descent, it's a landing test, and then from that, NASA will work with SpaceX to determine the best path and to determine how best to execute, as well as additional systems that would be needed to be tested out prior.
Our next question comes from Zachary Hobart. Your line is open.
Yes, thank you so much. This is Zachary Albert with the Launchpad News. Thanks so much for taking my question. First, congratulations to NASA and the SpaceX team. This is a big step forward towards the Artemis age and program, and excited to be seeing it happening. We know we saw the first crew of Artemis astronauts announced a few months ago, but we know that the NASA training program is quite extensive. Are there plans to be starting to open that up for more people to start applying so that we are able to be sustainable when we go back, not because of equipment, but because we actually have trained astronauts? And will there be an option to expand with Gateway because the Lunar Starship has such a capacity that there may be options for civilians to make the trip? Thank you so much.
Hey, so kind of a couple answers to that. First, yeah, we are actually in the middle of a astronaut application and selection process right now. We extended a little bit because of COVID to allow more people to apply and make sure we do the evaluation. So we are going to expand our astronaut corps. And yeah, and then we announced this first cadre of Artemis astronauts, but that's not the only cadre of Artemis astronauts. In the future, some of those folks will fly, and we'll expand the cadre, and more people will be considered for flying on Artemis missions. And then right now, no plans on flying anybody but our astronauts on the Artemis missions right now.
Our next question comes from Zachary Hall. Your line is open.
Hey, my question is, in this contract, does NASA have a requirement for where Starship will launch from, like 39A at Kennedy Space Center, or could it be a SpaceX spaceport, like maybe one of the oil rigs that they're working on? And then also, is SpaceX allowed to compete against this contract, which would be flying private citizens without requiring the uncrewed lunar landing test, or is there any rule against that in this contract?
Hey, Lisa, you want to take that?
Yeah, I can definitely at least take the first part. So, as I mentioned earlier, we try to keep our requirements as high level and open as we could, because we were looking for modern, innovative solutions and to see what industry came up with. And as such, they can launch from any launch complex. It could be like 39A. It could be at a different location, and that's something that you could address with SpaceX. So we did keep our requirements high level on purpose.
Our next question comes from Paul Brinkman. Your line is open.
Hi, yeah, thanks for taking my question. I guess a question for Lisa. As far as I understand, this Starship would be the first spacecraft to land on another planetary body that wouldn't have like an ascent module. And I'm just wondering if you could talk a little bit about, what you see in Starship that it's going to be able to land safely and then take off safely, all in one piece like that. Or is that just something you're leaving up to the demonstration flight? And then also, I'd just like to ask if it's possible to have SpaceX on a panel like this soon so we can ask them more questions. Thanks.
Sure, I can take that. So what I can tell you is that the solutions may look different. They may look like something you haven't seen before. But what I can tell you is that the NASA team thoroughly analyzed from an integrated performance and physics standpoint related to mass and capability and functionality, and to make sure the missions could occur, they could be done. We could close the mission. And so that was thoroughly assessed. So we are not, we do not have the concern there. What we will do is we will continue to test. And as Kathy alluded to earlier, we will not launch until we're ready. We will not launch until we feel like all the systems are safe.
And we will. That was a great idea about us in the future starting to have these discussions with SpaceX, right? So,
How perfect is this for today?
As you know, we always bring our partners along, and I'm sure Lisa would love it to have somebody here to answer some of these questions for her. So
It
she's
looks
doing
like
a great job. But thank
SpaceX's
you.
jet has just left Brownsville, so they're
Hey, this is
sending
Steve.
a
So a couple things. First, I wanted to follow up on clarifying an answer that I gave to a previous question, and then I'm going to turn it over to Monica to wrap us up, and I'll make some closing remarks. So just to be clear on that astronaut application, we didn't reopen the process for new applications. We're not doing that. But we needed more time to make sure we can do an appropriate evaluation of the candidates that did apply, including interviews, and that was challenging during COVID. So just want to be clear on that. And then when I said that, we don't expect private citizens or folks outside our astronaut car to fly on the astronaut missions, it also includes astronauts from our foreign partners, our foreign partner agencies. And so they will be part of the astronauts that fly as part of that missions, along with our...
Steve?
Hey. Thank you, Monica. So NASA's Artemis program is well underway, as you can see, and with our lander award today, landing the next 2 American astronauts on the moon is well within our reach. Our work on Earth and in the stars has inspired humanity since the beginning of NASA, and when we once again walk on the moon, we will set the stage for human exploration farther into the solar system, including Mars and beyond. Technology development and maturation is essential for exploring the moon and preparing for crewed missions to Mars. In many ways, the moon will serve as a technology proving ground for the red planet. Our NASA team continues to be flexible and innovative to accomplish our missions, and that spirit of innovation is really has always been critical to our success. We cannot accomplish our missions without the support of our nation, our administration, and Congress. The President's recent funding request gives us the resources to continue to advance America's moon to Mars exploration plans. No other field unites us like space exploration, and with bipartisan support, we will move forward with our Artemis plan.
Ooh.
Sustainable lunar exploration requires the best of NASA as well as our commercial and international partners. HLS leverages the best of U.S. industry and government knowledge, capabilities, and experience to push the boundaries of space exploration. So big thank you to Kathy, Lisa, and Mark, and all the media representatives for being a part of this important conversation today. This is an all-agency effort. One could argue it's an all-nation and global effort, and I could not be more proud of our NASA team and our commercial and international partners and all they do for NASA, the nation, and the world. So Monica, I'll turn it back over to you, and you can share everybody where they can get more resources.
Thank you. And thank you, everybody, for joining us today. Thanks, Steve, Kathy, Mark, Lisa, and Tyler from NASA for sharing this exciting news. And a big congratulations to SpaceX. Thanks to our guests for joining the call. And as a reminder, you can listen to a replay of this teleconference starting about after 1 hour of this conclusion by calling 888-566-0512. Replays will be available for 30 days. And again, one more time, that number for replays is 888-566-0512. And for some additional resources, you can get more information on everything that's going on with Artemis on nasa.gov/Moon to Mars. We'll be producing some additional information on the selection and more details about the human landing system on that site. And as always, if there are any more questions or you need additional information, we're sorry we couldn't get to everyone in the queue, but you can email myself or one of the PAOs, and we're happy to follow up with additional information. So as a reminder, you can find NASA PAO contact information for the Office of Communications at www.nasa.gov. And follow along and learn more about the Artemis program on our website.
This is so cool.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you, Tom and Space.
That concludes today's conference. All participants may disconnect at this time. Thank you for joining. Speakers, please stand by.
Oof. Get away from me, fly. Alrighty, I've got some comments. Okay, I've got comments. Sorry to speak over them or try to attempt to speak over them. I can't help but interject my thoughts, even when it's inappropriate or you guys are trying to listen to the newscast. I'm working on it though, so know that I'm working on it. I have thoughts and excitement to share, and it sounds like this is a big surprise to everyone at NASA and probably everyone everywhere. It sounds like Elon time, elongated. No, somebody probably released somehow the word got out from SpaceX, or Elon, maybe his tweet yesterday raised eyebrows or something, and so it sounded like it was a big surprise, but I have thoughts. I'm going to go inside. I'm going to get my proper live stream set up, but stay with me here. because I'd love to know in the chat if anybody has any thoughts or questions. I would love to answer them. So thanks for hanging out with me. And this is Starship SN10. This is my photo, Jessica Kirsh. So this is progress. Although it landed and then exploded and there was a RUD in the last one, I think the FTS was initiated. It's progress. So big things are happening. Stay tuned.